I'm back. So I'm going to be talking about assault rifles and all you need to know. This tutorial is going to be over assault rifles and general information about them. You're going to be finding assault rifles. They're basically going to be military structures and barracks. So I'm going to be further up north. I'm going to show you on the map here. So here's the coastline here. Where you're going to be finding these is mostly inside Starry Sobor, deer stands, which are all over the map. There's another military camp here inside of Brizino, up in the northern area. You can find them inside the airfields and at crashed helicopter sites. More of the rare type weapons are going to be inside the barracks and at the helicopter crash sites. Crash sites are going to be all over the map. Generally in areas, they're going to be in open areas around the map. They won't be inside like a forest. They're going to be along, mostly in these open areas here. They're just all over pretty much. So keep that in mind when you're trying to find more advanced weapons. So there's going to be different types of rifles in the game. There is more of the US type weapons, and all the US weapons use Stanag magazines. There's two different types. There is the Stanag 30 round regular magazine, and then there's the SD magazine. You can see here all the different weapons that you can use with Stanag. It's missing the M16. Oh, here it is right here. The M16 as well. They're going to fit inside all of the same weapons, and it's going to fit inside the L85, and I'll be getting to that shortly. So the US weapons are going to be using the same ammunition. You can find this inside the same areas in military and barracks. Remember the military structures are going to be like the control tower over there in the far distance, the fire station, the hangars. That's going to be more of the buildings where you're going to be finding these weapons, inside of tents as well at Starry and Brizino, and the deer stands. So there's a couple. I have 3 guns right here, and they all use the same ammunition. This is the AK-74, AKS-74 Kobra. This one has the scope on it. The other two just have bare iron sights. This one will have an actual dot that you can use to sight down. They can't zero. There's no zeroing. They're automatically zeroed to 300 meters. Unlike all the rifles on here have different things that are in common. So the AKs, these here, all use 5.45. Unlike the AKM. So if you find any of these guns, these magazine is going to work for this gun here. So there's 3 different guns. Each one is going to be like its own group. So more of the US weapons are going to use Stanag magazines. The Russian type rifles are going to use more specific ammo that is just for that gun itself. These are the US weapons that you can find inside of DayZ. I'm missing the M4A3 CCL, but they're basically the same thing between the M4A1 and the M4A3. The only difference between the M4A3 and the M4A1 is that the M4A3 comes with a flashlight on the barrel, so you'll be able to use it during night time. The other weapons in here are going to be basic iron sights. The M16A2 and the M4A1 are going to have the same iron sights. They're going to be barren iron sights. They're all going to be using Stanag magazines. They're all going to be zeroed to 300 meters. You can't zero these weapons. There's also the M16A4 ACOG, sorry, which is going to use the Stanag magazine as well. This is a little bit different. It's going to have a more powerful scope than using the aim dot. You're actually going to be able to see further. You can see a lot more targets downrange with this, and each tick mark is going to be a set different. There's no zeroing for this as well. Yeah, the range, what you think the distance is for the target downrange. See, a little bit low. I believe this target's at 400 meters out, which is going to be further down on the scope itself. It comes with an IR laser on here, but it doesn't seem to be working. I just tried a little bit ago. I don't think it works in DayZ. Where you can see it on the end of the barrel. What it does is it allows you at nighttime to actually be able to you'll be able to see like a laser beam only if you're using night vision goggles. So if you have a squad who has the L85, you'll actually be able to coordinate where you'll be looking at in game with the laser marker, and I'll be showing you that momentarily. The last one is the M4 CCO SD right here. You can only use the SD magazine, so you're gonna have to keep that in mind when you're using this. You can zoom in with right click. It's gonna be 300 meters as well, where it is zeroed, but it's gonna be extremely quiet. All the other ones are gonna be the same level of noise that are made when you shoot the weapon. The SD is going to be the only one that's going to be extremely quiet. You're going to be able to take out zombies without them knowing that you're there. This is the L85A2 AWS. You can only find this at crashed helicopter crash sites. They're going to be extremely rare. Unlike the FN FAL, you're actually going to be able to find ammunition for this. It uses the STANAG magazine. You can find this in military structures or the barracks. The cool thing about this gun is it has a lot of different features on here. It has zeroing that you can use. You can use page up and page down and go all the way up to 800 meters and as close as 100 meters. And when you zoom in, it has a built-in night vision scope on the weapon itself. And here is, I'm pressing L. It's the same button you're going to be using on a flashlight. Let me go ahead and turn on my night vision goggles here. You can actually see a laser going down range. No one else can see this unless they have night vision goggles. It's called the IR. I'm using an IR light right here, so it's not. No one. If you see somebody in game and they don't have a night vision, they're not going to be able to see you actually using this. You'll be able to actually like laser a target down range. Say there's somebody down. I can see someone over in this general direction, or over here. There's also another feature on here. If you hit N, it'll actually change over to thermal and actually have somebody down here that I placed inside the game. This is an NPC down here just to show you what it looks like. So this is night vision right here. It's a little bit difficult to see because the eyes are adjusting on here. And this is thermal. So you can go. I'm going to go ahead and zero. You can zoom in and out by using the plus and minus on the numpad. I can zoom in and I can zoom out on him. And I'm going to go ahead and take the shot. So it's going to make the same noise as any other STANAG magazine. This is the AKM. This is the big brother to the AKs, because this has a 7.62 by 37 millimeter round for the magazines. It fires the 7.62. This is going to be the big beefy brother of the AKs, which is going to pack a much larger punch to a target, and it's going to be a lot louder than the AKs with the smaller magazines with the smaller bullets and rounds. So this is going to draw a lot more attention. It's going to be heard a lot further away, and you can also zero. You can change the zeroing by using page up and page down. It goes all the way up to 800. And it'll go all the way down to 100. So if you're in a close quarter combat situation, you're going to want to have it here. But if the target's further out, you're going to want to adjust for the distance to target. That was too close. So almost every single battle rifle on here, all the assault rifles are zeroed already to 300. So with the advantage of having the AKM is that you're going to be able to go beyond the 300 meters, and you're going to be able to change it to a different zeroing. So you're going to, instead of someone who's going to have say a M4, they're not going to be able to hit as far as you can, because you're going to have the ability to use zeroing, which is they're going to have to be adjusting for bullet drop, and you don't have to adjust for bullet drop when using the AKM. And these other two is the FN-FAL and FN-FAL ANPWS. This one is just bare iron sights. There's no scope for this or anything like that. It uses FN-FAL magazines, and you can only currently you can only find these at crashed helicopters or helicopter crash sites. They take 20 rounds in the magazine. It's 7.62 by 51 NATO. So this could be about the same loudness as for an AKM. So keep that in mind when you have this weapon. It's going to be able to hit anything from 300 meters. I believe that target is... I have a couple different targets set up down there. It's 300 meters right there. This is the FN-FAL AN, which is the night vision variant. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off my night vision goggles that I have on. Unfortunately, you cannot change the setting for this, and you can't change the night vision for this. So whenever you're using this weapon, it's always going to be on. There's no way to turn the night vision off for this weapon, and there's no zeroing to change where it is. So you're going to have to adjust for bullet drop if the target is beyond 400 meters. So on here, one thing I didn't mention was with some of these weapons, like the L85, you can actually zero the weapon along with the AKM. And if you don't have a rangefinder and you're not sure of the distance, what you can do is, if you have a general idea of where you are, I can see myself on here. But if you're not sure where the target is, like from you to, say, you have a general location that you are at the warehouses here at 339, and you see a target down here at the control tower, but you don't know the exact distance because you don't have a rangefinder, what you can actually do is each of these squares is a different. So this is 1,000. This is a kilometer square right here, and each inside has individual squares. So, for example, 339. That's about roughly the middle of it. So it's going to be 100 right here, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600 meters from 339-ish. To the control tower. So if you're using a weapon and you're trying to just figure out the general distance, you can use that little trick to, if you've already set up a position, you can just range out and guess what the different distance is going to be if you're holding up a specific location, just for a quick reference.